Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today's lecture is about the sense and sense organs. It is the third unit from the General Science of 6th class. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of all living things and human is his best creation. Being the human, you can enjoy the life by using your senses. You can observe the things around you, you can feel the things, you can touch the things, you can taste different delicious meals. So due to these senses you are able to enjoy your life. In the picture you can see that a boy is afraid of the needle prick. You are also afraid of the needle prick? How you show the reaction of different things around you. Actually, it is the play of your brain and your sensory cells. Now, what are these things? We will learn this in this unit. First one is the stimuli. What is this stimuli? Stimuli is the things you react to. In the picture, you can see that a boy is getting a needle prick. This needle prick is actually the stimulus and boy is turning his eyes off. It is his reaction. You can see that the boy is showing his reaction by closing his eyes due to the needle prick, and needle prick is the stimulus. So the things you react to are called the stimuli, and stimuli is the plural and singular for this is the stimulus. What are the receptors? Senses detect the stimuli with the help of sensory cells, and these sensory cells are called the receptors. And when these receptors group together, combine together, they form the sense organs. Now again concentrate on this picture. You can see that this needle is the stimulus and the boy is showing its reaction by closing his eyes. Now what happened? Sensory cells or the receptors are present in the skin. So these sensory cells or the receptors, they send the message to the brain through the nerves that needle is going to prick you. So as a reaction, this boy closed his eyes. So the stimuli are the things you react to, and receptors are the sensory cells that detect the stimuli, and when these receptors grouped together, they form the sense organs. First of all, we will learn about the sense of sight. With the help of this sense, we are able to know the size, shape, color and movement of the object around us. You can say that all the life is colorful due to this sense of sight. Now how this sense of sight work? We will learn by a simple example. When light falls on an object, just like you can see here the example of this leaf, when light falls on this leaf, this light will be reflected and this light will reach to our eyes. Then this light that reach to our eyes, this passes through the cornea, pupil and then lens. You can see here the part of the eyes, cornea, pupil and lens. Light passes through these parts. Now what happened when light passes through this cornea, pupil and then lens? It will produce, this lens will sharpen the image, means it will sharpen the image and invert it. Invert mean you will see the upside down and downside towards the up. an inverted image will be formed, and this image is formed on the retina. You can clearly see in this picture. So what happened when light falls on the leaf? This light is reflected and reach to our eyes, and then this light passes through the cornea, pupil and lens. Now what lens will do? It will produce the sharp and inverted image, and this image will be formed on the retina. And once the image is formed on the retina, what happened? This retina send the message to the brain through the optic nerve. You can see the optic nerve in the picture. They are connected to the brain. So retina send the message to the brain through these optic nerves, and then brain will erect the image and help you to identify the object. Is it clear, girls, how our sense of sight is working? In the previous, you have learned that the working of the eye and its internal parts. Now here in this picture, you can see the external parts, or the parts you can see by upside. These first one is the sclera. Sclera is the white layer in the eye. Second is the cornea. It is the clear covering over the eyes. And then is the iris. Iris is the colored disc. It have some color in it. And last one, the inner or the most central part, it is the pupil. Now retina is made up of the two types of photoreceptors. You can say that there are two photoreceptors present in the retina. Photoreceptors are those sensory cells which will detect the light. Photo means light, so receptors mean sensory cells. So the sensory cells which detect the light, they are called the photoreceptors. And retina has two types of photoreceptors. One is the rods. Rods are sensitive to the dim light. When there is very dim light and you can say that you cannot clearly see the image of the things, then these rods work. These rods are important for the night vision and seeking the black and white. And due to these rods, you can distinguish between the black and white things, and it is important in working in the dim light. Second part or second type of photoreceptors present in the retina, they are the cones. Cones are sensitive to the bright light. When there is much light, you can clearly see, you can see the different colors and details of the object. It is due to the presence of these cones. Eyes are the organs of sight and is a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can understand the importance of the eyes by thinking of the blind people. They are not able to enjoy the colorful life as we are enjoying. Then you may understand the importance of these eyes. So we should care our eyes. And how we can care our eyes? These are the priceless thing and deserve to be treated with the care and respect. So what things they may damage our eyes? These are the injuries, unbalanced diet and smoking, sun rays and solar eclipse. Mostly you have told not to look at the solar eclipse because some harmful rays are produced which can damage your eyes. In the same way, by the using of the laser pointer, diseases like the diabetes and hypertension, all these things, they may damage our lives. They may damage our eyes. So we should care for them. And what things that may produce the stress over eyes? So these eyes may be stressed by the focusing on the screen for hours. If you are watching the TV for a long time, you are using the mobile phones for a long time, obviously you focus on the screen And if you do this practice for the long time, it will damage your eyes and it will produce the stress over your eyes. And if you are reading in the dim light, or you are reading while you are traveling, you are going somewhere, and you are during your travel you are reading, it also produces the stress on the eyes. In the same way, using a bright screen in a dim room, means in the room there is not enough light and you are using your mobile phone with high bright, it will also produce the stress. Using the glasses of wrong number, just like sometimes you kids take the glasses of your grandma or grandpa, or put it over your eyes, it is also a dangerous practice. It will produce the stress on your eyes. If you rub your eyes frequently, and if you are looking the objects from very near, from too close, it will also produce the stress over your eyes. So avoid all this practice and take care of your eyes, as these are blessing of the Allah. Along with the sense of sight, the other blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the sense of hearing. Our ears are the organs used for hearing. So how the sounds are produced? When the things vibrate, they produce the sound. By the vibration of things, sound is produced, and these sound waves travel through the air and then reach to our ears. Ears are the organs that is used for the hearing. Now how the ear work? There are the three main parts of the ear. One is the outer ear, middle ear, and then inner ear. Now you can see the picture of this outer ear. The shape of this outer ear just like the funnel. So sound waves is catched by this outer ear, and these sound waves then reach to the middle ear. These sound waves reach to the middle ear through this ear canal. You can see in this picture ear canal, and sound waves that are catched by our ear through this ear canal, these sound waves reach to the middle ear. And the middle ear has two main parts. One is the eardrum and second is the three tiny bones. You can clearly see in this picture eardrum and three tiny bones. These sound waves from the outer ear reach to the middle ear, and then they vibrate the eardrum. You can see this eardrum in the picture. So these waves will vibrate the eardrum, and these eardrum convert the sound waves to the vibrations, and these vibrations then reach to the three tiny bones. And what these three tiny bones do? These tiny bones increase the vibrations up to 20 times. They enhance the vibrations up to 20 times. From these three tiny bones, vibration reach to the inner ear. Inner ear has the two parts. One is the cochlea and second is the auditory nerves. One of the bone from these three tiny bones, vibrations reach to the cochlea. You can see in the picture, one of the bone is directly attached to this cochlea. So vibrations reach this cochlea through these tiny bones. The shape of this cochlea is just like a snail. You can see here snail like shape of this cochlea, and this cochlea is filled with the fluid. So the vibrations reach to this fluid, and then these in this fluid these vibrations turned into the waves. So these waves are detected by the receptor cells, and these receptor cells are present in the walls of this cochlea. And when these receptor cells will detect them, these waves, they will send the message to the brain. And how these receptors will send the message to the brain? They will use the auditory nerves. So auditory nerves will send the message to the brain, and what the brain will do? Brain will interpret these signals and you can hear this sound. So is it clear how our ear work? You know how the bats, whales and dolphins find their way? They produce the sound waves and listen to the echo. Now what is this echo? Echo is the reflected sound. When the sound strikes to the some object, it reflects back. So these bats, whales and dolphins, they produce the sound waves and then they listen the echo. These animals find their way, catch their prey, communicate and move with the echolocation. And what is this echolocation? Echolocation is a process for tracing or locating the distance or invisible objects, just like the prey. So in this echolocation, they produce the sound, animal produce the sound, and this sound reflect back in the form of the echo. So due to this echolocation process, these animals are able to find their way, they catch their prey and communicate with other. And radar is a man-made echolocation device. It can trace the objects. So it is an echolocation device but made by the human. Now today's topic is completed. Now you are free. It's your play time, so enjoy your play. Allah Hafiz.